Hi, I'm Katie Todd. Welcome to Katie Todd TV. Today we've got another episode of Katie's Mailbag, and Mark is here to tell us who we've got a wonderful email from.
Okay, this email's from Michelle, so thank you, Michelle, for your email. And it goes like this. Dear Katie, I am a 38-year-old professional married woman with 2 boys. Not really wanting to go down the divorce routine like the rest of the population, so I am trying to stick to my marriage and be a good mom for my kids. My husband drives me crazy with his workaholic personality and his never-ending wish to go back to the United States. I keep telling him how good it is here and how he should be thankful to have such a wonderful country to live in and how wonderful his wife and kids are. That should be his focus, not his work and workmates. He worries about the money. I keep telling him it's not about the money, it's about life. What can I do to get him to see this? How can I get my boys to understand that they are important to Daddy when they don't feel, or they don't really feel like they are? Michelle.
Whew, that's such a big one, Michelle. What a huge, huge dilemma for you at this time in your life. I'm really grateful to you for being so open and honest, because I think there's going to be thousands of you out there who've lived this. Interestingly enough, my darling, this is my first marriage of 18 years, was exactly this. In fact, we could swap scripts for what you said when you have your fights with your husband about, why don't you see you have such richness here? You are loved, we are in a fabulous place, we have great careers, and they don't get it. You feel like you're hitting your head against a brick wall. Unfortunately, as you know, I do a lot of work on personality profiling and personality types. This is the Midas Miser archetype. They lose all sight of the real value of things. It's all about worry and money and security. And you can't value being in Australia or the goodness that's here. There's somewhere greener somewhere else. You can't value his wonderful wife and his kids who adore him, and so he neglects them. Understand that he is also neglecting himself in the process and hasn't learnt to value himself well. But I think, sadly, that you are banging your head against a brick wall. You can't make anyone see anything. I nearly died trying, I'm here to tell you, 18 years worth. You can't get that lesson across. The point is for you to value you to value your boys, you to value your life. It sounds to me that you're going to be living a life of sacrifice and martyrdom where you're trying to be the good mother. Is that sacrifice worth it? Your happiness matters. I'm not hearing the language of love here. I'm not hearing the language of fun and passion and compatibility and shared interests and joint focus and we're going in a similar place. I only wish that I had known when I was young and got married that it didn't have to be that hard work. You know, when you have real love and it's generous, we've talked about that on another episode, it's not that hard work. This is such hard, painful work, and I'm telling you, it is always going to be while you stay with this man. From my experience as a counsellor of 20 years with hundreds if not thousands of couples, it's probably going to take loss for this man to find out what really does matter in his life. He may need to go through the experience of separation and maybe divorce to realise how much you did matter, what really does matter, to have that wake-up call and to know how to value his kids, and then to put the time in on his own with the kids. And often kids come out the winner in a separation instance, because the father then has to take responsibility for the quality of time and have regular time with the kids. And they're actually more emotionally available than they ever were when they were just the parent who was off going to work and mum can deal with it at home. I know this is a really hard answer and maybe not one that you wanted to hear, but my experience is we can't change anyone. Either it's working basically with a bit of fine-tuning and there's a lot of love and joy and joint vision. There is not here. You are hitting your head up against a brick wall. You are not loved and appreciated. And that's his stuff, but it needs a huge amount of work for him to change. And that's generally not likely. It happens extremely rarely. How about you value your life, your happiness, your quality of life, and start doing what's going to work for you? And I think it'll be the best all round for all of you. What do you reckon, Mark?
Yeah.
What comes up for you as I talk about that?
Well, actually I was thinking about a friend of mine who actually went through a divorce or a separation and then divorce, and actually the male party did just what you said. He better appreciated and valued, not just being a dad, but that he could have been a better husband and a better partner.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think they had too much stuff that went on,
Yes.
and that the relationship was not able to be salvaged, but those lessons, I think, are correct. I mean, me being a one-time divorcee myself, I understand that, and so, yeah, I got great empathy for Michelle. Yeah.
Thank you. I think that you've got to remember that none of us is perfect, and life here on earth is a school, and there's many wonderful lessons for you to learn through your husband and through your marriage. And sometimes it is that, okay, thank you, I appreciate this, we've had this time together, this is our contract, but I'm ready to grow to a different place and I want to experience other things. And it's about self-love. And Michelle, what is going to be the most loving thing that you could do for yourself and therefore your boys to create the happiest place that you can? And when you're in a relationship where you are not of the same values, same vision, same dreams, and able to love each other, honestly, that ain't going to work, and the kids don't thank you for it later, because I'm the counsellor who talks to them 20 years later. So be open-minded, learn what you can. We don't want to go into blame here, but sometimes our lessons are not what we think they are.
No.
And we get a surprise. Have a look at my book though, at Who Are They, and have a read through of The Midas Miser, and you may find that it's a very similar experience. And I can only say that when I stopped abandoning myself and stopped trying to change the other to be something he wasn't, which isn't very loving after all, when I learned to really love who I was and to look after myself well and take responsibility for that, I did have to be on my own for a bit, but then I found the love of my life. And my God, there's chalk and cheese between those sorts of relationships. I could have stayed and been the good one, but no one would have won from that. It might have looked right for the outside, but I honestly think life's about more than looking right.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it takes courage. I just ask you to trust your intuition and your courage, but this isn't going to change much. He's not going to change. Sorry, my darling. If any of you would like to challenge anything that I have to say here, and Mark and I discuss, I would welcome that. You know, we are all here learning together. We only share of what we can to help. And Michelle, come back to us with more and let us know how you're going with your journey, because we're really interested. Thanks for writing in.
Thank you.